Welcome. Okay. So it's good to have all of you on. All right, let's start this analysis and let's go for it. So first things first, as always, you know the tradition already. BTC is what we're going to look at first. So let's have a look at the market and see what's going on. So I'm going to start from the weekly here and let's have a look at the price action. So now last week I told you guys was a very crucial week. Okay, and look at what we've had here. So this weekly zone right here, we've had a weekly close back above this area and we've also had a close above this high. So from the price action we're seeing here, again, to recap on everything we're looking at. So we had the body close. We had a return back in here on the short side. We had the body close beneath this zone. And then we had a very strong long result in here. Now, this week was the crucial week here because the price should have continued short back down to where we were looking for 10K. But instead, what we've had is the price has closed above this area and also closed above this supply zone. So we are in the right direction from a price action perspective for a long. Now, the key here, as I said, according to what we have here, we are back in a bull market from the weekly structure. Now, again, this was the area that we were looking at, and we finally now, it did happen a few days ago, but on the 30th of July, we had a body close above this zone here for the first time in a very long time since June. Well, since the price got back here since we've been over about a month now, I'd say. But this is the first time we've had a body close above this area. And so this denotes to the fact that we should be going long. Now, we've just had a break and a return here. So we have an entry for Bitcoin. If you wanted to trade this, we do have a long right here. Now, the order block for this on the demand side would be here. So here's our demand order block right here. And if I put this right here for you guys, I'm going to put this across here. We're expecting the price to make its way back up here for a long. Okay, well, this will be our next target. So I'm expecting Bitcoin to get to the 46 mark now, 45, 46. All right, there's a supply zone nested beneath here. Now, even though from what we can see in the structure that we're in a bull market, I'm still going to be careful. I'm only going to start rejoicing for the bull market, guys, once we get back above here. So I would say to you, anything from above here, once the body of the candle closes above here at some point, this is when I would say to you that we're definitely going to see the bull market really take off. So we're in the second phase now. We're still in a bull market from the market structure. From a technical point of view, we are. However, the structure of price here is the last real zone we need to break. Once the body of the candle, of any daily candle, breaks above here and closes and returns, now we're talking, and this is where we're going to see those highs again that we were looking at before. So pulling back down, going to the H4 here, if I mark out the zone that we're in right now. So the price on Bitcoin at the moment, we've had a very strong sell-off, okay, triggered by the price action from this high right here. The high of on Sunday here took the high of the previous day of Saturday, producing a short. The short has entered now. From the dynamic of the daily here, the price is, the body of the candle is still inside of this very important demand zone. Now, there is a key here that we need to look at though. Now, if the body of the candle does close beneath this daily demand zone here, then we are going to have a bit more of a pullback. And we should see the price get back down towards here. Okay. Now, the next major area that we had before was here. And as you can see, we don't have a fulfillment of this order block on supply. So between 36 all the way back down, and funny enough, this is the largest candle we had. We don't have a complete inefficiency of the price here. So if the body of the candle does close beneath this demand zone, so we still have to wait till the end of the day for this, then we should be seeing the price make its way back into this area here, at least. And this fulfillment of supply should be around about 36,000 to 35,200, around about here. So between these two ranges is where we should be looking for price action. But now we are in the clear. We can definitely go for a long. Now, at the moment, on the H4, if we kind of merge the two zones together, we have a H4 zone right here. And this H4 area right here is a demand zone. And so I do expect the price to have some sort of push back up. At the moment, the price is still quite stable in this area. We haven't had much activity for the last couple of hours. Okay. And down to the H1 on Bitcoin here, the price is still showing bearish signs, but it will really depend on, you know, how the price closes today for us to know whether we're going to continue in that bearish theme. Now, I do expect this low over here to be run around about 3,600. And as I said, for the price to push back lower. So we're going to see what happens here. We're still in a place where I believe the price is loading up for a long, and we could get one very soon. But it just depends on how we have our closes. Again, I'm always patient to wait for the market to present an opportunity for a trade. But this would be a ripe area for a really nice long up here. Okay. Again, please, I repeat, from a technical structure, we are in a bull market, but the full swing or the full establishment of that would be the close back above 47. If we don't have that, then there is a chance that the price could, you know, use this zone on the D1 and then push back very strongly short again. So please be aware of that and keep your eyes peeled for what the market does. Okay, we're still in a very shaky time. There's a lot of fundamentals going around. There's a lot of enemies towards crypto and especially towards Bitcoin because what it represents for the freedom of humankind. So we need to still be wise with how we approach Bitcoin. Okay. Now, speaking on Bitcoin, let's have a look at the next runner-up to Bitcoin, which is Ethereum. Now, I think I have Ethereum marked out here already. I think I already have it here. Yeah. So guys, if you remember this trade I gave you, I hope you guys took it. It was a fantastic trade, a very simple one at that. As I told you guys, we had a very small H4 area here. All you needed was a break above here, an entry stop loss beneath, and the price hit the target perfectly. This was a clean $200 or £200, depending on where you are and what you're trading with. Okay, very beautiful trade. The price hit here to the target perfectly, as you can see my markings. And this was a very free, I gave you guys this trade for free. So I hope you guys enjoyed that trade. And now we've got into this area of supply. Now is really time for us to see the strength of Ethereum. So I'm watching carefully to see what we have now. Based on the analysis of Bitcoin, now Ethereum seems to be having a more bullish tone to it than Bitcoin. And we can see the price is still pushing up long. We've had this first entry here. I wouldn't be surprised if the price returned back to at least maybe H1 supply again. Okay. Now, to me, the structure here, the body of the candle has closed beneath this swing low here. So there is a little bit of a mild bearish structure here. So we may actually see some shorts. Okay. The price may actually attempt to come back down to this area of accumulation here. And then after take off for another long. So we'll see. I mean, on both sides of the market, I still haven't forgotten about these equal lows here. And maybe what we might have, you know, since we have structure for a bull market, is we might have our bull market. And then when the price comes crashing down again, it might end up going for these areas, you know. These are the things that, you know, we may see, you know, moving forward. If the price does decide to go short, now it does look like this is quite a sustainable long and it's been sustained quite healthily for a while. But we will see clearly. I still think that this double bottom here has a liquidity pool of many orders that need to get run, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be run now. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled. I do see a pool of liquidity here. So I do think we're going to get Ethereum below $2,506 at one point or another. But I'm keeping my eyes peeled for what could happen. So with Ethereum, very similar to Bitcoin, it's got a much more bullish uptone to it though. But I'm keeping my eyes carefully peeled on what's going on with it. So aside from Ethereum, let's go over to XRP. Now, XRP has been exhibiting some interesting movement. As I said to you, it's a very highly anticipated, highly sought after cryptocurrency. And we've seen some massive spiking whilst other cryptos have done not as much percentage, like for example here. Now, from the structure here of Ripple, we can see the bullish tone to it. And as I said to you guys from before, there is inefficiency in the price where I do believe Ripple needs to get back to $1.10, and it's right here. This supply zone that we had here, as I said, when the market opened in June, I'll put this here for you guys so you can see. When the market opened up in June here, we had the price return into this area, but not into supply. So we have an inefficiency here. So even though we have this bearish movement here, you can see that the weakness of this bearish movement after a while is being greeted with some strength here. So I do think that from what the standpoint here, I do think Ripple at least should get back to this 1.1 area. If it continues past there, I don't know. I still think the 33-cent mark is going to be filled. But again, we're moving at the tone of the market. And, you know, there's cause for long and for short on both sides. But looking at it from the long perspective at the moment, there is opportunity for a long. Now, for me, if I was going to take a trade on Ripple for a long, I think you guys should keep your eyes peeled on this. Look at this beautiful H4 area. So this H4 supply zone here, this is actually the sell I took on the challenge account and made really, really good dough on that. Now the price is approaching back to this area. We haven't had it just yet, but the price is approaching here. So I'm actually going to set an alarm right now already. All I really want to see in Ripple to take advantage of this movement, I would like to see a break above here, very similar to the Ethereum trade I gave you guys, and a return here. On this return, I'll be looking to buy, and I probably won't close it until it reaches this 110 mark. Now, even with a small account, okay, trading Ripple on Hugo's Way is fantastic. If you don't have a Hugo's Way account and you want one, please check the link in the description beneath. Okay, we can grab a Hugo's Way account from there. All right, follow our link and grab the opportunity. Now from here, this is 220. Now, just to put into perspective, you need £5 for the margin. So you literally, I mean, if you wanted to take a gamble, not advice, this is not financial advice, I'm not advising to do it. If you wanted to just take a risk, you could actually just get a £30 account, put a 0.01 on here, stop loss beneath this area and just let this ride, and you'll come out with 220. All right, all the way to 110. And I do think that Ripple is definitely going to do this level, okay, and even possibly more. All right, so I'm watching very carefully to see how the price behaves here, and I want to see how the market pushes forward from this point. So you can see on the daily time frame now, if right here is the high, and here is the supply zone. So you can see right here, we did not get that return, but yet the price went short. So this inefficiency in the order book needs to be filled. So we can take advantage of it. Remember, crypto, every financial market is the same, guys. So if there's an inefficiency on the order book, whether they use fundamentals excuses to get there or whether it's just technical action, the price will have to go there to balance out the order book. So I do think 110 is very highly likely very soon. Okay, so I'm keeping my eyes peeled for Ripple here, and I'm hoping to see some really good action on there soon. All right. Okay, so let's see. All right. So moving forward, let's see here. I'm going to pull up another chart. Okay. So Doge has been an interesting one. Doge is still kind of ranging. As I said to you, as you can see, guys, and this is very important, if you notice what's happening with Doge, although the market has been taking a very strong uptick, have you noticed from the spikes we've seen really from the first spike of the Amazon news, Doge hasn't really moved anywhere. As I said to you, Dogecoin doesn't really have the value that these other cryptos are producing, okay, because this MO is ethos, whichever one you want to call it, from the get-go was never for, what crypto represents personally to me. Okay, now I'm not saying that Dogecoin doesn't have, money in the system. It still does quite a bit as well. Okay, but as you can see here, the body of the candle still stayed inside of this area. The nested supply zone on the D1 here, right here, is still as it is. Price is still within supply. We just had a greater spike. But I wouldn't be surprised if Dogecoin goes short. As I told you, it was started by hype and was pumped by hype. And I do believe that the disinterest in Dogecoin over time, as cryptos that have real value come to the forefront, is definitely going to dissipate, and the price will definitely be going short. Again, my first target is still 0.07. All right. Now, Dogecoin might get the effect of the rest of the crypto market and the excitement and get a pump on it one more time. That is possible too. But for me, I'm still keeping my eyes on the fact that Doge should be on its way short. Now, if Dogecoin does go long, guys, and I want to put the long perspective here, my first target for the long would be at this area right here. I expect the price to get back into this area of 25 cents, just under 26 cents. Okay. This is what I'm expecting the price to do from here. And from this point, I do expect to see a short after that. So these are the two options that we have. If Dogecoin continues in this, from the daily, this kind of price action we're seeing here, most likely we should see a short. However, if it manages to break above supply, now the break above supply will just be another way of saying that we have more bullish pressure on the market than bearish. So a break above here would mean a very simple return back to this area right here. And then from here, guys, possibly a short. Now, when the price returns here on the daily time frame, we still need to keep our wits about us and observe what the price is doing, okay? As I said, it's not completely over just yet. We won't start rejoicing on Bitcoin when we get to that 46, 47 marks with those daily closes. with the body of the candle, then we'll start to get excited even more. But it's still an exciting time anyway. So what I'm going to do, let me put a rectangle on here for you guys. So right here. So on this daily zone that we have right here, we've had a break beneath this area return. And if Dogecoin does get back here, then it would go straight to this area that I'm looking for and return to the higher up area. Now, if Dogecoin was to do another long similar to Bitcoin, it has one more hurdle to cross, just like what we're experiencing with Bitcoin now. And that hurdle would be for the price to break above here and then on the return, which is right here. Now, there's a supply zone nested inside of here, so we can use that as a flip zone here for demand. If we see the price get back up around about here, from this point right here is where I expect the price to really make its way for the movement. Okay. And if it does do this, then I do think that Doge could make its way back up to the next areas of supply. I don't believe in Doge, of course, compared to other cryptocurrencies. Even if it was to catch up, it's going to need a lot of money, a change of leadership completely, a whole load of things. Okay. But for now, if Doge was to go long, this will be the pattern. But the key here is that we need to get that body close above the supply. If we don't get that, as you can see, the price has attempted to go above supply, but we've been closed out with wicks instead of the body. If we do get the body close here, then that means that Doge will be on its way for a long. Okay, because that means we have bullish pressure in the market. There's more buying interest again. If there isn't, then that's cool as well. But I do expect the price to give us this kind of pattern of movement here if it's going long. If not, when the optimal area for a short anyway, and the next target would be right down here to 0.07. So keep your eyes peeled for Doge on that. All right. Now, rounding off this analysis, now, if you guys want me to do other cryptocurrencies, at the moment, I'm just keeping it to the ones that we know. Okay, the most obvious ones. But if you have other crypto suggestion, guys, give me a shout and I'll definitely have a look at it for you guys. All right. So I'm going to end off with Monero. Have a look here to see what's going on. So with Monero, we've been stuck at this algorithmic level for a while now. Okay, we've broken past our first area. So our first area that we had on the daily, this price point right here, the price is broken above it quite strongly. Okay, and we've seen an increase in bullish pressure as the price has gone up to this area. Now we're struggling around here. So the second area of demand that we had on this market was here. Now the price could equally go short from where it is right now, or it could break above long. Again, it would all depend on how we get a close. Now, if we get a body close above this 24.79, so let's call it $248, then we should be seeing a long now. With Monero, there are fundamentals against privacy tokens. If you don't know about it too much, all right, I'll just share this small insight that I've been looking into. And a lot of privacy tokens, especially things like Monero, very complex and powerful piece of technology, which can make any cryptocurrency and transaction anonymous, is something that governments are really against and afraid of, because it takes away the opportunity for them to look into transactions, which on one side is not good, because if it's for funding terrorist organizations and stuff, guys, we don't want that at all. Okay, because that's bad. But at the same time, you know, it takes away the control that the government has primarily and puts the privacy opportunity in the hands of people. And because it's unhackable and, by governments to be able to look into the transactions because of how the algorithm is created, privacy tokens in general have, a big red X sign on them. Some exchanges have already delisted Monero and other cryptocurrencies. So things like Zcash, which, are prized on allowing for P2P payments or peer-to-peer payments, but with privacy. Now, from that fundamental standpoint, I do think that privacy tokens are not done yet having a bit of, an attack on them. And so if a short was to happen, fundamentally and technically speaking, I would expect the price to stop here. Now, why am I saying stopping here? Now, in the last and final crash we had, or the largest crash, I should say, not the final crash, but the largest crash we had on the price spiked to this order block, but didn't return back into demand here. Now, this demand zone is small but powerful, because this is the demand zone, which is the catapult for the price to go from where it was in February all the way to what we see in May. Okay, and now that the price is pushing back down here, I'm expecting the price to get down to these lows here. I'm expecting a 151 Monero. Now, this could happen. The bull market could still be happening, and because of the delisting from exchanges, that might cause the price to drop. Or there might be an overall second push short on all crypto, including Bitcoin, which will push Monero short. We can't tell from now, but I do think that privacy tokens are crypto. If you have to think of it this way, Bitcoin, which has very open transactions, there's different types of Bitcoin. You can tell where Bitcoins come from, whether it's from the dark web and things like that. Something that's trying to bring good to the world is already under so much attack from governmental authorities and other institutions who are not happy about the people having control over their finances for the first time. But on top of that, if they're already, receiving so much, bad news on them and discouragement to get involved and regulations against them, think about privacy tokens, which are the step up from some of these, to not only make it an economy from everyone, but privacy where no government can interfere with your transaction. That's even worse. So saying that, I would definitely keep my eyes on Monero. I'm not bearish on privacy tokens. I think they're very powerful and useful, but in terms of getting regulation for them and getting acceptance in the world, I believe it's going to be a bit more difficult, a lot more difficult than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I do expect this to push short, and so from that point of view, I would like to see what the price does here. Now, if the price does break above and continue, there are so many zones that the price can go to. The next area I would look for would be this special type of demand zone or supply zone, excuse me, right here. So we'll have to wait and see. We can't really make any assumptions yet. Okay. But I'm looking for the price to push long primarily, especially because of what we've seen with Bitcoin. And I guess my next real massive target, I would say, for the long side, on a positive note, is that if the price starts to break above here, I would like to see Monero get back above here and maybe attempt to go for this high right here, which is the high of June. That would be fantastic to see. And maybe from there, the price may push short, who knows? But this is what my views are on Monero. This is why I'm keeping my eyes peeled, because it'll be a fantastic short long and a short short. In other words, a short-term long and a short-term short. So either way we see this, Monero is good for trading. So if you're looking around for a trade here, this is what I'm looking for. So these are my points, guys, but leave in the comments below if there's anything you want me to talk about, any crypto, any analysis you want me to do, please leave it in the comments below and I'll surely do it. But I hope you guys enjoyed that analysis, and I'll catch you guys later on, and everybody take care.